Hello and welcome. It's Mr. M. This is our next lesson in the Standard of Excellence, Book 1. This focuses on page 19. We'll be going through exercises 80 through 84. This one begins with 80 Mexican hat dance, and the focus on this one introduces the accent, which you can see at the top of your page, says to attack the note louder. I like to think of this as an articulation anytime we use our tongue. So to me, it's a harder ta or T sound with a little more air. Gives it a little more explosion. If you are a percussionist, this means that you hit your mallet or your drumstick a little harder. Oftentimes when I'm playing mallets or snare, I will actually play a little softer on the notes around the accent just to help that be emphasized. When we accent things, we're emphasizing it. The other thing to notice in Mexican hat dance is that we have a first ending and a second ending. Notice in the first ending, you see a repeat sign. So when you play, you begin at the beginning, play through, play the first ending, you hit the repeat, go back to the beginning, play through again, and when you get to the first ending the second time through, you skip the first ending and go immediately to the second ending and finish the piece. With that in mind, remember that you can pause this at any time. In fact, down in the corner here, you can go to settings and you can go to playback speed and slow it down if you feel like I'm going too fast for you. I will usually put this at about 80 to 88 beats per minute, depending on what the tempo marking is. This one will be 88 beats per minute on my metronome, and I recommend you always practice with a metronome. It helps. Here is Mexican hat dance. Also, notice the dynamics. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, remember, forte, we like to translate as strong instead of loud because there's definitely a different tone quality between loud and strong. Let's move on to Frederajaka. Frederajaka number 81 is a round. What this means is that you can create harmony with just the melody line. So as you see in your book, we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. If one starts playing, you have more than one person, you'll need more than one person to play harmony. Right now it's me, so you can play harmony with me. And what you would do is one person would begin, like I'll begin playing, and then when I get to where it says number 2, somebody else would begin at the beginning and go right along with me. Now you'd be playing different notes at those points, but it would create harmony within the actual song. And you could start at number 3 and number 4. So you could actually have 4 people playing this and just repeat it indefinitely, and you just play around and around and around. Probably why they call it around. Huh. All right, here's Frederajaka, number 81. You can either play with me, play the melody, feel solid on it, or you can go back here to the timestamp, which will be about 3:40, and you can play after me. Here we go. Metronome. Get ready. And 1, 2, here we go. There it is. Now, there was something else different in this one, wasn't there? In the second measure, the fourth measure, the sixth measure, and the eighth measure, you have a symbol, which is a line with 2 dots around it in the measure. Now, oftentimes kids will think that is some kind of rest, and they won't play because there are no notes. But in fact, that is what we call a 1 measure repeat sign. And in that case, you just repeat the 1 measure before it. Sometimes you'll see that symbol and then a number above it, like 2 or 3 or 4. What that would mean is repeat the previous measure or the previous 3 or 4 measures. Let's move on to Morning Mood, number 82. This is a very famous piece of music. Oftentimes it's used in cartoons when they're depicting morning time and, animals waking up and things like that. Notice the slurs in this one and that it's piano. Here we go. Set the metronome. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Okay, yeah, very light, very smooth feeling. Moving along, number 83, Main Court is a 2-line song, so make sure that you play both lines of this one. Notice that this is also done at a piano dynamic. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, the difference between the slur and the tongue is really important. And oftentimes we want to make sure that we're using our tongue notes very clearly so that we can hear the slurs when they occur. Next, we're going to look at number 84, Go for Excellence. Go for Excellence shows you some accidentals. Remember, accidentals are sharps, flats, or naturals that are not in your key signature that affect notes. Now, whenever an accidental is used, it only lasts for that note for that measure. It's called the measure rule of accidentals. And for example, your key signature may have a flat in it in the first measure, or it may not have anything in it, in which case you're going to either see a natural as an accidental or a sharp in that first measure. Now keep in mind, those two notes are the same note. Even though the second one doesn't have that accidental in front of it, it's still played the same way because of that measure rule of accidentals. We get to the next measure, and it goes back to whatever your key signature is, whether it's a natural, whether it's a flat. And then you'll notice that we've got that same accidental again because they have to keep doing it every measure because it's not in the key signature. And then look in the third measure. You've got those same notes, but the accidental is not in front of the first two, it's in front of the third one. That means that the first two are going to be whatever your key signature is. It'll sound like this in that third measure. Good luck. This one also has 2 lines. Let's go for excellence. Number 84. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 84. So in those measures where you have the accidental, if you don't know which one it is, ask your music teacher. Also, yours. If it sounds like the note I played, you did it right. If it doesn't, it might not be right. So make sure that you're checking that out. So thank you for joining me for page 19, folks. If you're doing this for an assignment, you will submit number 80, Mexican Hat Dance, with both first and second endings. And remember, when you do so, give me your name, give me the lesson week it is, and also give me the exercise you're playing. So for example, I'm Mr. M. I am playing number 80 on page 19 for lesson number 2. Thank you again, and we'll see you folks next time. Bye.